Check that out. I scratched myself on the side of the face. And that looks really bad on camera. I hope it don't look like that. I play this back to myself. Okay, so tonight I'm thinking about the last cat I owned. I'm a cat person. I had a cat when my husband and I met, and he had dogs. And so I have had a cat in my life, my whole life. I mean, there was a cat when I was born. There was a cat every year I was alive. I love cats. I've been around cats my whole life. My family had dogs. I don't have much experience, nor do I remember the dogs too much. So, the only dog I ever really was actively connected to was one that I picked out with my high school boyfriend. And, we'll call him Gladstone after the high school I went to. Yeah, I won't say his real name, because privacy. And we picked out a dog that was being given away in the neighborhood, and he had the yard at his house. So the dog stayed with him. And when we broke up, the dog still stayed with him. So I didn't really get to raise the dog. I didn't get to train the dog. I got a visitation now and then. And then I stopped seeing the dog. So not really my dog. I mean, it was supposed to be my dog, but it wasn't my dog. So, more into cats. And one day there was a kitten outside. This is typically how you end up with a cat. One just shows up. I mean, you have to go get a dog typically, or you found one that someone left. But a cat will show up. This little kitten, and she was itty bitty. She was a kitten. And so she was a pretty little tabby. My boys were little. They were like 2 and 4, 3 and 4, around that age. And so they named her Pickles. It was a family vote, and Pickles won. So we got little Pickles, and we're like, okay, she's a little girl. We'll keep her in the house. We'll get her fixed, because she's real young. We'll just make sure she don't have any kittens. And we started feeding her, and she started getting round. Yeah. I was like, well, maybe it's because she's so undernourished and she hasn't eaten in so long that she's gorging, and then this is like a big tummy because she's eating a lot of food, and maybe she's trying to gain some weight, and this is healthy. She's a baby, you know, she's hungry. Yeah. Then she got really round. Okay. This baby is pregnant. Well, she's so little. Maybe she only has like 1 or 2 kittens. This kitten gave birth to 5 kittens. She had 3 tabbies, and she had 2 solid blacks. And one tabby had cute little white toes, little girl, and she was just like her mama. And the 2 boys had identical markings, head to toe tabbies, gray tabby. And the only way you could tell the difference between them was this one marking on the spot between the eyes. One had a vague W shape, and one had like a V shape. That was it. The identical markings everywhere else. We figured they were twins. Since everybody named the cat Pickles, I didn't like Pickles, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna name these ones after comic book characters. I literally didn't know hardly any comic book characters, so I'm Googling them. And the only brothers I know was Thor and Loki. So, the one boy was more adventurous. He got out he was more get out the box and explore. The other one was a homebody, stay in the box and wait for mama to show up and nurse. So the one that gets out the box and is more aggressive, named him Thor. The other one was Loki. So, okay, going along the theme of the two brothers, ended up naming the little tabby girl Valkyrie to go along with Thor and Loki. This was way before Iron Man, so yeah, the whole MCU thing wasn't yet a thing. Then I was Googling female heroes and female comic book characters. I wanted the two black females to have really strong names. So I came across Vixen. I think she'd be more famous now because of DC Legends of Tomorrow. They had Vixen on that show. But Silhouette was another one. And I really liked the name Silhouette. That was really awesome. And she was really cool. These kittens loved my husband. He is not a cat person. Cats are known for this. They like people who don't like them. And so these little kittens would climb up him and perch on his shoulders. And he would act all gruff, but he fell in love with them. Why he's not into cats? He's allergic. So, we ended up getting Vixen a home very easily. She was the first one adopted. We gave a little boy whose cat went insane. Aggressive cat. I think their mistake was they were keeping it in a cage, and it was like feral. So we gave this kid one of our cats, a sweet cat. We gave him Vixen. And then she said that Vixen was lonely, so we went ahead and gave her Silhouette as well. Thor became accustomed to outdoors living, chasing lizards, really, really comfortable outside. Loki, unfortunately, we're not sure what happened. We found him deceased. So he had died. We're not sure if he got into something or if something attacked him. But, he ended up dying. And it was really sad. And his brother looked for him for a long time. Would always be looking around for him. Mama, she was born outside and she was good outside. So she went around and she did her thing. So, when we ended up losing our place, she was doing her thing. And she got picked up by the neighbor who was already in love with her. So she was fine. And that was the last cat I had. And the interesting thing was, the kittens got to an age where they were playing, and so you would play with the kittens, and here comes mom. And she runs in there, and she's playing with the kittens, and she's playing with the string, and she's jumping around, and she's being a kitten. And you forget that the mom is a kitten too. Because she's so little. And she's like one of the litter. And she's playing like a kitten because she is a kitten and she has kittens. I think, one of the tricks I did was she went out and decided she was going to be stubborn. She wasn't going to come back. I needed her to come back in the house because it's starting to get dark. So I just picked up one of her kittens, carried it outside. Kitten started crying. She came back. I used the kitten to call her to come back. And that was the easiest way for me to do it. So, my thought is, if I ever get another cat, probably will do it deliberately. And maybe get a hairless one. I'm thinking that would less likely trigger my husband's allergies. Because he was miserable. Yeah. But on the dog front, we have a dog. Got it for our wedding anniversary, and I surprised him with the dog. It's a local boy dog. Someone was trying to find a home for their puppy. He's not that small. He's huge. So I think he's almost 50 pounds, if not over 50 pounds now. And he's not a year old yet. He'll be a year old in January. And we gotta get him fixed. He's not yet fixed. But he's got his puppy shots. He's got those done. And we've got him housebroke. Which was fun. Because I've never done that before. And we were teaching him to walk on a leash. And teaching him commands. I taught him how to sit. And it was not hard. I was pretty happy with that. He's pretty smart. He's also stubborn. So, that's fun. Anyways. His dog is Duke. I let him name the dog because it's his dog, right? So I'm like, you name the dog. So he came up with Duke. Which is really cool because I'm thinking Duke of Earl's song, it's pretty catchy. Duke is pretty masculine and But then the downside to naming your dog Duke and you have a 3-year-old in the house. Downside is that the baby calls him Dookie. Which your little 3rd grade humor comes out every time the child screams out, I love Dookie. Yeah. Yeah, that's not where we thought it was gonna go. Okay. Anyways, now we gotta train the dog to be okay by himself. We have not yet left him alone. So now we're kind of trapped to the house. If you have tips on how to train the dog to be okay for short periods of time. I'm not talking about all day. I'm talking about like 2 hours or something by himself. I mean, we all go upstairs and he starts crying at the bottom of the stairs. Just a couple hours by himself without melting down would be like ideal. If you have tips, comment. I will read them. I will definitely read them. Any advice you have for dogs, because this is my first dog and it seems like he's letting me discover everything the hard way. Like and subscribe, and then I guess fairies will come and bless your sleep or something. I don't know what happens. It could. Maybe it does happen. I don't know. I don't think that I can say that and be certain. Alright. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Good night.